Alright, what's up everyone? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you another Pokemon Black and White Wi-Fi battle. And I'm using the new team I had. I actually think this might be the last video with this team. I've just been doing a lot more grab bags and stuff, so I'll probably be posting those from now on. But anyhow, this was a really fun match for me and a good way to kind of end out this team's little mini series. So my opponent's going to lead with a Rotom Wash. He has a pretty standard Sandstorm team which I'm used to. I mean, every other team is Sandstorm, so it's not like I haven't seen it before. But I'm going to use Krusty to set up my rocks first turn. Sturdy's going to let me hang on, and then I'm going to be able to get my spikes up as well. So that was a nice start. I got rocks and a layer of spikes. That's definitely going to play a big role in this match, as you'll see later, especially with the strategy that I have going with this team. So I send out Hotwire as he's the best answer to Rotom that I have. He's going to be able to do a ton of damage if he stays in. And I'm not really afraid of any move that he wants to throw at me. So my opponent switches out to Tyranitar, who ends up at under half health after all the residual damage as well as a Thunderbolt. And I predicted the rocks here, so I went into DJ Roomba so that I could spin him away and threaten him with the 4 times effective hit. But instead he goes for Fire Blast, which was probably a good move on his part. Gliscor comes in, and I just went for the Mach Punch in case he decided to leave Tyranitar in. I end up getting a crit. It's not going to matter a whole lot since Poison Heal is going to get Gliscor back up to full health pretty quickly, so that didn't do a whole lot. I bring in Hate here. He's a really great check for Gliscor's. And so I know that he's not going to be able to do anything to me, and I'm definitely going to threaten him. Now, here I make a fairly bad mistake. I choose to go for the Dragon Dance, and it's way too early to start setting up. So that was a really stupid play on my part. I should have just attacked. Even if it didn't do that much damage, I could have hit this Rotom as it came in, and it would have made it easier to take out later. But oh well, I went for the Dragon Dance instead, and I switched back into Hotwire because no matter what he wants to do, Hotwire can take it. He's not going to Hydro Pump. He was either going to Thunderbolt or Will-O-Wisp, and in either case, Hotwire was my best choice to go in because he's the only member of my team that's not going to mind being burned. So I switch him in, I get burned, and then I get a fairly solid chunk in with a Thunderbolt, and I actually survived the Hydro Pump, but Sand ends up taking me out. So this gives me the perfect opportunity to bring in Puff, my Dragonite, because rocks aren't up, my multi-scale is going to be intact, and this is my Parashuffling Dragonite, which is just ridiculous. You'll see he's the MVP of this match, and just watch what he's going to do. I'm going to go for the sub first turn. I avoid the Will-O-Wisp, luckily, and now on the next turn, I'm going to paralyze it so that I'm faster. So now I'm just going to start fishing for Parahacks. I'm going to set up another sub here on this next turn, and once I get the full Paralysis on that Rotom, it's going to allow me to roost up and reactivate multi-scale, essentially. So the idea behind this set is to just paralyze everything and then fish for Paralysis as you roost up and shuffle through their team with Dragon Tail. So he gets paralyzed again the second turn in a row, which sucks for him, but was awesome for me. It lets me get at full health. So now I'm at full health with multi-scale behind my sub. There's nothing this thing can do to hurt me, really. Nothing's going to break my sub. I don't think it has Hidden Power Ice. So he goes for the Thunderbolt this turn, hoping it's going to break the sub, but it won't. And then I Dragon Tail him out. So now Rotom's going to die the next time it comes in, thanks to Stealth Rocks, I believe. And I drag Tyranitar in. So again, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to Thunder Wave it on the first turn so that I'm faster, and then just start fishing for Parahacks until I can shuffle it back out. So he gets paralyzed again. I think that's 3 times now, and I didn't expect that one, so I went for the sub, which was a wasted turn, but oh well. Now he reveals that he has Ice Beam, which I figured he did when I saw Fire Blast. This is the standard lead set. So it breaks my sub. He got a crit, but luckily I had the sub up, so it didn't hurt me too bad. And again, I'm just going to start subbing down and wait for him to get paralyzed for the 4th time. So I set up 1. I'm going to set up another, and I believe on this turn, yeah, he gets paralyzed again. So Now I can either Roost or Dragon Tail, and I believe I'm going to Roost on this turn so that I have multi-scale activated again. And actually, the better play there would have been to just go ahead and Dragon Tail him out and Roost on the next turn. So that was a small misplay on my part, but Ice Beam doesn't even break my sub. 4 times effective, and it doesn't break the sub. This Dragonite has max HP, max special defense. It's designed to take ice beams, unstabbed ice beams, and live. And so that didn't even do a quarter with multi-scale. Rotom comes in. It does survive the rock switch in, but then his own sand takes him out. So now Gliscor comes in because I can't paralyze it. So I'm expecting an Ice Fang here. I could have stayed in and Dragon Tailed, but there's no need to. Rocks aren't up, and I have a perfect counter here with Hate. So I just switch him back in. I get taunted, which is kind of unfortunate. I would have liked to set up a Dragon Dance, but it actually doesn't end up mattering in the long run because he's just going to sack his Tyranitar to get some switch advantage. And now he brings in his Terrakion, I believe. And since I was taunted, I wasn't able to set up a Dragon Dance, meaning that I can't stay in because I know he's going to go for Stone Edge. He's going to want that thing dead. And so I switch into DJ Roomba to take the resisted hit, but he crits me. And I'm pretty sure that mattered. I resisted that attack. Hitmontop doesn't have the greatest defenses, but I think I could have lived that, especially since he's not banded. I didn't know that at the time. But anyhow, it does allow me to bring in Ryu, my Scissor, and threaten to revenge him with Bullet Punch. However, I know he's going to want to switch out and save Terrakion, so I go for the U-turn, and I get the revenge crit there on Heatran, which was nice. But didn't really matter in the long run because I don't think this Heatran actually does anything to me. It just kind of comes in and dies. Fires off a Fire Blast at Hate, which does almost half. Kind of surprising, but lets me set up a Dragon Dance. And so now I'm going to be able to outspeed it and just take it out with Waterfall. And at this point, I'm thinking I'm probably going to sweep with Hate. I don't, after the +1 speed, I didn't think he had anything else that would be able to outspeed me. And I figured I'd be able to 1 or 2 hit KO everything he had. Scissor was really the only thing I thought might have a chance at taking me down. But he goes into Terrakion here, which made me wonder if it was Scarfed. However, I decided just to stay in and confirm that it was. And it turns out that he is because he's faster than me and he's able to KO me and stop my sweep with a Scarfed Stone Edge. However, again, I'm going to bring Ryu in. This time I thought he might stay in, predicting me to U-turn again, but he doesn't. He switches into his own Scissor, who takes a hefty chunk after those hazards damage. So getting up those 2 sets of hazards is really helping me out. Superpower is pretty predictable, so I'm going to go into Puff, who takes less than 50 damage from it. And now he's at -1 attack, and he's choiced, so he's got to switch out. I know Gliscor is going to come in, so I don't go for Thunder Wave. Instead, I set up a sub. I really should have just Dragon Tailed. I mean, I knew Gliscor was going to come in at that point. I should have just shoved it right back out. And I'll do that later in this match, but right now I decided to set up the sub for whatever reason. And he shows me that he does have Ice Fang. I'm not too worried about it, though, at least as long as he doesn't get a Sword Stance in. And from behind my sub, I'm able to safely Dragon Tail Gliscor out and bring Terrakion back in. So I don't want to lose Puff yet. And I know by this point he's super pissed at this thing and he just wants it dead. So he's going to go for Stone Edge. He's not going to overpredict. And that means I'm able to switch in my Scissor, who can take 1 Stone Edge. Luckily, he doesn't crit. And I make the safe play again and go for Bullet Punch. And I take out Terrakion, which is awesome. So his own Scissor comes in. Bullet Punch did quite a bit last time, but I don't want to risk not taking it out and getting KO'd with a superpower. So I go back into Hate. Even without multi-scale, he's not going to take a whole lot of damage from a superpower. And now, again, I know Gliscor is going to come back in, so I can't go for Thunder Wave. My 2 options are basically Roost or Dragon Tail, and I just want to get damage on this Zubat and not give it a chance to heal with Poison Heal. So I go for Dragon Tail, push him right back out, and bring in Scissor, who lives with just a smidgen of health. Um, and I think he'll probably just finish me off with a bullet punch at this point, but I wasn't worried about it. Instead, he goes for superpower, which not a great choice on his part. I guess maybe he thought Scissor would come back in on the predicted bullet punch, but still, he would have been better off just going with it. And it guarantees that I'm going to be able to outspeed him since I have priority and he doesn't. And the only thing he has left is his Gliscor, who takes more rock damage coming in and then gets KO'd by a bullet punch. So that was a really, really fun match to play from my perspective. Really, the most fun I had with this team. So stay tuned, guys. I'll have more videos coming your way shortly. I'm probably going to change up my format a bit, though. And I'm just going to be posting some more random battles with just some guys that you don't really see used a whole lot on YouTube, and probably just a lot more grab bag teams. I might still do a couple of mini series if I find a team that I really like. But anyhow, I'll have more videos coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.